Has successfully launched a rocket that will seek to land a robotic rover on the moon's south pole. And it marks a first, not just for India, but also for space exploration. Well, the rocket took off about an hour ago from the country's main spaceport in Andhra Pradesh in the south. If all goes to plan, the rover is expected to land on the moon in late August, where it will remain functional for up to 2 weeks, performing a series of experiments. The mission's dubbed Chandrayaan-3. It could make India the fourth country to execute a controlled moon landing. Only 3 other nations have successfully accomplished that feat. That's the United States, Russia and China.
Hello, I'm Lucy Gray. Welcome to the programme. We start with a historic mission to the moon and the launch of India's Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft. This is the moment that it took off just under an hour ago. It entered Earth's orbit shortly after. It's India's second attempt at a lunar landing, and if it's successful, the craft will deploy a rover near the moon's south pole next month, and India will become only the 4th country behind the US, the former Soviet Union and China to manage a controlled lunar landing.
India's space agency has just launched a rocket that will attempt to land a robotic rover on the moon. The Chandrayaan-3 mission aims to touch down on the moon's largely unexplored south pole. The rocket launched in the last hour from India's Space Centre on Sriharikota Island on India's east coast. It will now travel for almost a month to the moon. And if it succeeds to land, India will become only the 4th country to put a craft on the moon. Several earlier missions have ended in failure. One objective is to explore the moon's polar regions for ice, which could potentially supply a future space station with water.
From New Delhi, joining us live, Ishan Garg is here. Hi, Ishan. So it's a huge day for India, and we were so excited seeing the scenes in the last hour. If this mission's to be successful, we do know there's still a month that it's got to travel, this Chandrayaan-3, before it gets to the moon. What could it mean with success for the country's position as a global space power? Tell us.
It's going to be a huge deal, and we already have some degree of confidence about its trajectory. The Indian Space Research Organization announced shortly after the launch that it has been launched into the orbit around the Earth, after which it will slingshot into the lunar orbit. In about a month, we'll find out if this rover is able to land on the moon or not.
A little earlier, I spoke to astronomer and podcast host Jennifer Millard, who talked us through the launch of the rocket and explained how long it would take before it reaches the moon.
Once it's there, it'll orbit the moon a few times before attempting to deploy the lander and then the rover, which is contained within the lander. So yeah, we've got a little bit to wait. We're expecting it to get to the moon 23rd, 24th of August. That's the rough timeline. And then, yeah, hopefully India will become only the 4th nation to have a successful soft landing on the surface of the moon, which is absolutely